The Nile awakens at dawn. A cool mist drifts across the slow, dark water. The first light of the sun catches the sails of small boats, turning the river into a ribbon of gold. This is the river that has given life to Egypt for millennia. It is the heart of our civilization. It is the source of all our great mysteries. Near this sacred river stands Karnak. It is one of the most magnificent religious sites ever built by human hands. Its towering columns rise to the heavens like a forest of stone. Walls covered in hieroglyphs, walls covered in carvings, carvings telling the stories of our gods, carvings telling the stories of our pharaohs. For centuries, people have walked these hallowed grounds, filled with awe and wonder, a testament to the power and devotion of my ancestors. Scholars have long debated Karnak's origins. We argue about how Karnak truly looked in its earliest days. Ancient maps are fragmented. Ancient maps are incomplete. Over thousands of years, stones have been moved. Entire sections buried under layers of sand. Entire sections buried under layers of silt. Sediments carried by the wind. Sediments carried by the river. To uncover this secret, scientists did not just look at the stones above the ground. They journeyed deep into the earth beneath Karnak. They used long, hollow tubes to drill down and pull up sediment cores. These cores are like pages from a history book written by the river. Each layer of mud sand clay tells a story of a different time. Dark, dense mud indicates a period when the area was submerged under deep, still water. Lighter layers of silt show a time of slower river flow. Within these layers, we found something crucial: small, broken pieces of ancient pottery. Each tiny shard is a clue, a fingerprint of time, allowing us to date the earth around it with incredible precision. Using the data from these cores, the team of geoarchaeologists began to draw new maps. These were not maps of the temple we see today, but maps of the land as it existed thousands of years ago. The lines on these maps revealed the ghost of an ancient landscape. They showed a long, narrow ridge of sand and silt beneath the western temple complex. This ridge formed a small island surrounded by the river's channels. The pottery fragments on this landform proved people lived and worked there during construction. It was the definitive link between the land and the people. Imagine slicing the earth open and looking from the side. But why would my ancestors choose to build a temple on an island? The answer is not just practical, it is deeply spiritual and full of symbolic meaning. For the ancient Egyptians, water was the ultimate source of all life. The annual flooding of the Nile was not a disaster, but a blessing, bringing fertile black silt to the fields. Water symbolized rebirth, purification, the primeval ocean from which all creation emerged. An island was a sacred place suspended between the earthly world and the divine realm of the water. A perfect microcosm of creation. The first land rising from waters of chaos. It was a place where heaven-earth water could meet. Picture the scene. In the quiet hours before dawn, a procession of priests embarks in ceremonial boats. Their clean white linen robes seem to glow. Their voices rise in chants across the water. They carry offerings for the gods. Boats glide through misty channels around the temple island. They step ashore onto sacred, stable ground, the sound of lapping water all around. The great temple rises, seemingly floating on the river. This setting made every ritual more powerful, every prayer more profound. The island became part of the sacred drama, apart from the ordinary world. Building on such a site presented enormous challenges. They needed to be masters of engineering, adapting to island conditions. Foundations for massive pylons and columns had to be sunk deep into sand, reinforced with timber piles or packed stone to prevent shifting in wet ground. The temple layout might have followed the island's natural contours. Some walls curved to align with the ancient shoreline. Sacred gateways positioned to face the river, welcoming ceremonial boats carrying gods and kings.